Have you ever noticed that heavy feeling after meeting certain people? That invisible weight that follows you home? That's your energy field being drained. Carl Jung warned us about these people, but nowadays these 7 behaviors have been normalized. You've been trained to confuse love with guilt, peace with silence, and emotional neglect with maturity. Your energy field, your life currency that determines your money, happiness, and everything else, gets sucked dry by these people. Behavior 1. Mockery disguised as humor. It doesn't feel like abuse at first. They tease you in front of groups. Everyone laughs, including you. You play along because calling it out would make you look weak or oversensitive. But when you get home, something keeps echoing, not what they said, but what they meant. Jung called this symbolic violence, emotional damage wrapped in language so light it can't be confronted without being dismissed. The more you tolerate it, the more it rewires your brain. You start believing the underlying message: you'll never be taken seriously, you're not dangerous, you're laughable. You begin participating in your own diminishment, mocking yourself before others can. Your voice gets smaller, your presence softer, your edge dull. You weren't born to be a punchline. Mockery isn't how people bond, it's how unspoken resentment gets disguised. Behavior 2. Emotional invalidation. You bring something up honestly, you're hurt, something feels off, then you hear, you're overthinking it. You always take things so personally, it's not that deep. Your feelings are dismissed before you finish speaking. You start editing yourself, rehearsing before you speak, waiting for the right moment that never comes. Eventually, you stop bringing things up altogether, convincing yourself you're being too sensitive. Jung called this psychic repression, when inconvenient parts of yourself get buried so deep you forget they were real. But they don't die. They mutate. Every time someone invalidates your feelings and you accept it, you train your nervous system to self-abandon. You develop anxiety, lose your sex drive, get exhausted for no reason, then lash out in ways you don't understand. Behavior 3. Gaslighting. You remember something clearly, the moment, the words, their expression. Then they say, "That's not what I said, you're imagining things." You always twist stuff around. Suddenly you're not defending yourself anymore, you're defending your own memory. Gaslighting is psychological inversion, taking your truth and holding it upside down until you start apologizing for it. You walk away from conversations with less clarity than when you entered. Jung warned about this fracturing of the self when the psyche splits under pressure, forced to live 2 realities, the one your body remembers and the one you're told is real. Once you've been gaslit long enough, you start gaslighting yourself. You feel angry, but talk yourself out of it. You minimize hurt before anyone else can. That's when you know it's deep. Gaslighting doesn't just confuse you, it rewrites your instincts. Behavior 4. Silent contempt. They don't yell or insult you, they just stop seeing you. No eye contact, no warmth, no effort. They speak around you, over you, like your background noise. You're not being hurt with words, you're being erased with silence. Because they're not being mean, you convince yourself you're overreacting. But the ache in your chest doesn't lie. Jung said, "Loneliness does not come from being alone, but from being unable to communicate the things that seem important." This is emotional loneliness, while lying next to someone every night. You start walking on eggshells, overthinking texts, lowering your tone, shrinking your needs. Contempt isn't indifference, it's silent punishment, a slow withdrawal of love to teach you a lesson without saying the words. Behavior 5. Self-sacrifice. They called you dependable, solid, unshakable, the guy who always shows up. You gave and gave because that's what real men do, but while everyone leaned on you, you had no one to lean on. You were drained, but still showing up like a machine. Jung would call this a fracture in the self. When you suppress too many pieces of who you are in service of others, you don't become noble, you become hollow. You thought being good would protect you. Instead, it turned you into a ghost with good manners. Real strength isn't giving everything away. It's knowing where you end and others begin. It's honoring your capacity, not bleeding for applause. Behavior 6. Accepting abuse for belonging. You stayed not because it felt good, but because walking away felt worse than being mistreated. You made excuses, told yourself loyalty meant endurance, that love was supposed to be hard. But you weren't staying out of love. You were staying because you were terrified of being alone. Jung talked about this. The greatest burden a child must bear is the unlived life of the parents. If your worth was tied to performance growing up, you were wired early to tolerate pain if it meant staying included. Every time you compromised yourself for peace, you taught your nervous system that being chosen is more important than being whole. The moment staying connected requires betraying yourself. It's not connection, it's captivity. The shadow, how you've become what you hate. Here's what no one wants to admit. You're not just the one who was hurt. You've also become the one who hurts. Jung called it the shadow, the parts you've rejected but now unconsciously project onto others. You gaslight yourself, then gaslight others. You mock yourself, then mock others. You shut down when hurt, then punish people with silence when you're hurt. The very things you swore you'd never become crept in the back door while you were surviving. Jung said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. This is your crossroads. You can keep replaying the script or break the cycle with awareness. The solution: individuation. Jung's answer wasn't stay positive or forgive and forget. It was individuation, becoming your actual self, not the version that survived or the one everyone liked. Key principles. Awareness over amnesia. Stop pretending you didn't see the pattern. If it drains you, warps you, silences you, it matters. Call it what it is. Boundaries over performance. A boundary is a declaration of what you will no longer abandon yourself for. That doesn't work for me. I'm not available for that conversation. People will flinch. Let them. Integration. Over-image. Stop performing your best self. Start integrating your real self, including anger, desires, shame. You're not whole because you're calm. You're whole when you can hold contradictions without crumbling. Strategic rules for protection. Never argue. Redefine the frame. When someone twists your reality, don't defend. Reframe. We're seeing this differently. I know what I felt. Control the frame. Don't reveal where it hurts. Emotional manipulators feed on reactions. Don't flinch, don't correct, don't explain. Let it pass like it didn't land. Always have a layer. They can't touch. Don't make your whole identity accessible. Control information. Reserve mystery. Use strategic detachment. Don't chase cold treatment. Mirror their energy, then pull away. Let them feel the weight of your absence. Never threaten. Move in silence. Don't broadcast your limits. They don't need warnings. They need consequences. Keep your center unshakable. Don't argue your worth or reality. Stay grounded when they try to spin the ground beneath you. Play the long game. Let distance reveal truth. Stop texting first. Stop explaining boundaries. Watch who respects your silence. The declaration. This is your line. No more shrinking to be chosen. No more fake laughter to fit in. No more apologizing for choosing yourself. You don't need permission to protect your energy or approval to honor your instincts. Jung said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." That privilege comes from action, not reading quotes. You're not broken, weak, or crazy. You're just done. And that's where your real life begins. This isn't healing. This is rebirth. Your declaration, I refuse to be shrunk. Your code, I reclaim my field. Welcome back to yourself.